seriously, Bob. Well, it's my pleasure to welcome all of you to the state capitol. We're going to have a formal program when we get to the mansion. You don't want to take a half a step back there, Mom. There's a gap. Joe Prococo messed up again, Pop. I don't know what to tell you. There's going to be a program when we get to the mansion, but we just want to give you a sense for those of you who haven't been at the Capitol in a while and what this is all about. Obviously, welcome to the state capitol. It is a magnificent building. The more you learn about the building, the more magnificent the building actually is. Finished in 1899 by Teddy Roosevelt, who just got tired of the project going on, and it had gone on and on for 30 years. And he just called it quits at one point and said, let's finish the building. It was the most expensive public works in the nation at the time. They weren't just building an office building. They were building a monument to democracy. They were building a monument to public service. They were proud of what they were doing. They were proud of the state of New York. They were optimistic about their future, and they invested in this building in that way. The building was supposed to have a dome over the courtyard, but TR's impatience, no dome, finished the building. And that's where it is. It's basically a rectangle, the building, and we're on one end of it. This Capitol houses the executive, the governor's office. It also houses the legislature. It's not like Washington. Some of the kids go to Washington. You have the legislature in one building and the executive in another building. They're in the same building here. During one period of time, the judiciary was also here. The Court of Appeals was also in this building, in the blue room on this floor. But it is magnificent. 2.5 years ago when we got here, the building was less than magnificent. It was under renovation. It had been under renovation for a lot of years. It was shrouded in scaffolding, and it was under construction, and it was dirty, and it was dark, and it was just a really unpleasant place to be. And that the dirtiness and the darkness in many ways was beyond just the physical construction site aspect. There was a degradation about the place that was palpable. And we said we're going to take 2 years and we're going to restore the whole place. We're going to make it better than ever before. We accelerated the construction timetable, and we basically finished construction and restoration just a couple of months ago. For us, this is like putting the cherry on the cake, and Pop, you're the cherry. This floor is the second floor. Above us is the Senate chamber and the Assembly chamber. Senate chamber's on this side of the building, so this is the Senate side. The Assembly chamber's on the other side of the building, so that's the Assembly side. I'd very much like you to take a quick look at the Senate and the Assembly before we go to the mansion, because it's really worth seeing for those of you who haven't seen it. On the second floor, we changed everything. The private offices are on the other side of the hallway. We just did a historical rendition of the history of those offices, and we have plaques in each of the private offices that tell you what governor made that configuration. But on the public corridors, this hallway became the Hall of Governors. Now, it was before called the Hall of Governors, because in the Red Room, which is the room at the far end of the hall, since the 1800s, they were collecting portraits of governors in a sort of semi-random way. In the 1980s, the portraits were brought and hung on the hallway because there were too many for the Red Room. But again, in a random way. And you would have classes from schools come to visit, and you have all day long classes walking up and down the hallway, and they would be looking at these pictures of random old white men with the teacher trying to explain what it was about. And it was almost embarrassing, and you felt for the kids and you felt for the teacher. And it was a pointless exercise in so many ways. And here you're bringing young people from across the state. We're going to go to the Capitol. They get to the Capitol, and they have no idea about what's going on. So this now is really a Hall of Governors. What we did is we arranged it in a timeline. So when you come out on the main entrance, you can follow the timeline around the wall. It goes down one side, up the other. Timeline tells you what's going on in the country at that time, what's going on in the world at that time, who the governor is, a little information about the governor. And then in the cases are the best artifacts we had from the museums for that governor, for that period. So now it's a whole history lesson, and it gives you the context. We had all the portraits in place. All the portraits were restored. We were missing just one portrait by a famously shy governor who was still unwilling to sit for a portrait, considering it an act of indulgence, God forbid. So never to be stymied by an obstacle, Cuomo administration found a way to get the portrait even without the person knowing. Who said the portrait artist ever really needed to see the person he was painting? That's why God made photographs. And we had a portrait done from photographs, not especially the best way to do a portrait, but it worked just fine. Because a man as handsome as my father, you don't need a lot of visits to see that beauty. And what I like about this today is there's only one microphone, and I have it. It's nice to be governor. So we have the portrait, and we had the portrait done, and the building is now finished, and this is the cherry on the cake. And with this unveiling today, this hallway, this building will be complete. And today we really did save the best for last. I want to thank the people from the New York State Museum who were great on this, Mark Shamming, Harold Holzer, great associate of my father who was instrumental in finding the right painter. The painter is Simmie Knox. He's a fantastic portrait artist. He did the portraits of Bill Clinton and many others. He's really outstanding, and he did an outstanding job here. And I can't tell you the joy and pride that I have in being part of this project and being the son of the greatest governor in the history of the state of New York and the greatest governor in this hallway, Mario Cuomo. Ready? We'll do it on three. Would you like to count, or do you want me to count? 1, 2, 3.
That's